Know that there will be 13 startups pitching today in the finals. And without further ado, I would like to introduce our jury, who are right here in front of me. First up, we've got Luisa Nowacka, associate at Alior Bank. Yes, and we've got also Piotr Filipek, consulting director at Greenhouse by Comarch. And Angelo Burgarello, Business Development Director at AI Startup Incubator. All right, so now I believe that we are ready for our first startup to dial in online. So let's see if we can make that happen. Sometimes it is tricky, but this time I hope there won't be any issues. Oh, you're here already, perfect. All right, so in this case...
Hi, everyone.
Hi. In this case, I'm starting the clock. You've got 3 minutes to pitch. Good luck.
Thanks. It's funny to make a pitch from airport, basically. Okay, so my name is Alex. It's nice to meet you. We made an online platform which connects suppliers and farmers. The agricultural sector has two sides. It has farmer side and it has supplier side. For the farmer, it takes a long time to find necessary product on analog of it, to find an availability and, of course, analytics about the product. While for the supplier, there are lack of channels to promote and sell products online, lack of staff to work with it, and, of course, lack of analytics about each category of their product. This is why we united them on the one platform, which led farmer to find necessary products in short time and to buy it online. And for the suppliers, it's a new opportunity to make online marketing and sales through the agricultural platform. Basically, we've started to do this product in Ukraine because Ukraine is a breadbasket of Europe. In Ukraine, we have 41 million hectares of the land fund, and our target audience is 53% of this target land because farmers, small and medium-sized farmers, are working on this land. The product is already made. We created an MVP. It works on the one side, it works pretty easily, like any kind of online platform. But everything is hidden in our functionality. We've made a detailed digitalization of each category of each supplier. We've made a smartest search for goods and products by different parameters necessary for agricultural market. We've made the smartest calculator of the budget and an opportunity to buy from different manufacturers online with the opportunity to receive the logistic. The business model is simple. There are three types of subscription: early birds, basic, and premium. Mostly we work with suppliers because for them it's an online marketing platform, and the price right now is selected from $2,500 up to $5,000 per year. But for Ukrainian market, for now, it's absolutely free for everyone. During 1 year, we've received and started working with more than 30 manufacturers and suppliers, and made a turnover about 8.5 million hryvnias, or 260,000 euros. The traction is a little bit changed for now. Of course, we have to move on to European market, but still we intend to be in top 5 of Google search to December 2023. And in July 2024, become the leaders online platform for agriculture. Competitors are simple. We have online shops and classic distributors who don't have such unique functions as we have, but retails in Ukraine don't have such a deep digitalization of the categories. The opportunities are wide awake. We can work as a marketing platform, as an analytical platform, as an e-commerce platform, but still there's a lack of knowledge. The team is combined from agricultural side, supply chain, IT, and marketing, and each of the team members have from 5 to 20 years of experience. Why we're participating? We would like to become a part of a European accelerator who has an in-depth knowledge of agriculture, to learn how to implement this product to European and Latin American market, and of course, to implement this new experience and knowledge in Ukrainian market. Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Round of applause for you from Wrocław, and let's go straight to the questions. You've got your microphones here. Make sure that they are unmuted, and you can feel free to ask the questions.
Okay, thank you for your pitch. I have actually two questions. Do you know if there is any competition outside of the Ukraine, and do you have plans to expand outside of the Ukraine?
I would like to answer the first question. Yes, of course, we know that there are competitors outside of the Ukraine. We know some kind of platforms which are made in Germany. We know the platform which is made by Syngenta in Poland. We know information about online shops in Poland. But as I've described, the difference is in digitalization of all the categories and the unique functionality which we made. About the second question of expanding, we've started already doing it by meeting different manufacturers in Poland. And right now we're starting research and development work with Adama Poland. It's one of the biggest manufacturers of crop protection sector, to understand how to implement the project into the into the Poland market.
All right, we still have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Hi, Alexander. It's Angelo here. Thank you for the pitch. I wanted to ask you, are you serving currently more suppliers or more farmers? What is the ratio of suppliers and farmers?
Well, we have, of course, more farmers than suppliers, because the amount of farmers in Ukraine, we have more than 30,000 visitors per year, and more than 2,000 clients in average per year right now, which is why, of course, the amount of clients is more than suppliers.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the 2,000 clients are accounting for the 260,000 turnover that you had in 2021?
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
yes.
you.
Yes.
Thanks, Alexander.
Any last questions? Go ahead.
Thank you for your pitch. I would like to ask you, could you tell us a little bit more about the sales channels of your company?
Well, sales channels are pretty simple. We use all possible ways to promote the product. First of all, it's Google, because of the architecture of the website. It's built as a single page application, and whenever you write a name of the product, it will be on the first pages of Google. Of course, we work together with manufacturers, and we make a presentation of the product with them together. And of course, we use online channels like Facebook, Google, YouTube to gather more and more farmers on our platform, and to keep them there. And later, when they use our service, they just come back because they know us.
Thank you so much. We ran out of time, so big round of applause for Alexander, and let's see if we can dial in our next startup, Piotr Pajda and Simple Rent. So let's see if we can see him on the screen shortly. All right, we can see your presentation. Can we just check if we can hear you?
Can you hear me?
Perfect. All right, so we've got 3 minutes. Good luck.
Cool. Thank you so much for the recognition and for the finals. I'm Piotr Pajda, one of the co-founders of Simple Rent, a platform that helps landlords minimize their tenant risks, financial risk, and also smoothly onboard their tenants. So usually, if I'm in person, I ask if there are any landlords or tenants in the room. Since there are plenty, because we solve the problems for both sides of the rental market. And there are many of them. One of the ones that gets repeated a lot from the landlord's perspective is that the tenants are late, or they never pay for the rentals. Actually, when we look into the data, around 25% of landlords experience a delay in payments from the tenants, and 10% experience a complete lack of payment. There is also an issue with damaged property. Around 25% of landlords experience a tenant that significantly damaged their property and also the stuff inside the property. There's many more like high deposits, and we are slowly trying to tackle all of them in the rental market. And we are doing it through an end-to-end digital rental platform. And we started from tenant screening. But over time, we are planning to really cover safe rentals from beginning to an end. So both parties of the process feel safe at every stage. Why did we start with tenant screening? Because it was an easy way to acquire first customers, especially in the markets like Poland. Tenant screening is not a market standard. It's something that we know from Germany and UK. In Poland, we usually just sign the agreements without any financial verification. So what we did, we created a three-stage process. When landlord generates an invite, link to the tenant. Tenant goes through a three-stage process, and then a certificate gets generated at the very end. What is the tenant certificate? Well, tenant certificate confirms financial credibility in three ways. First of all, we confirm the identity of the tenant. We also confirm the affordability, and we also do a credit check. What's very interesting is we always get feedback like my tenant would never go through a check like this, especially in countries like Poland, when it's not the standard. Actually, 95% of the tenants report that our verification procedure was very easy to follow. And we experienced very little of them, very few of them actually rejecting the process. So that was the first step. But it's just a tenant screening. It's a very big, long process. So we thought it would be interesting and to actually bring a lot of value to tenants and landlords to create insurance products that, for example, would help if their property is damaged or if there are issues with the payments. So together with PZU, we partnered to create two bundles of products. The first one is for tenants, where this bundle basically helps accidental damages if they ever happen. The second one is the landlord insurance product, which is the only product of this kind in Poland. It's directly linked with the scoring from our tenant certificate. So basically, if our tenant certificate is positive, which means the tenant is credible, then landlord doesn't have to pay a lot. It's only 29 zlotys per month. If the tenant doesn't have a certificate, then it's 50 zlotys per month. It's the only product like this in Poland, and very popular across various clients, because we have a lot of them from different groups. We started with big B2B clients, the sort of PRS segment, but we also have the biggest agencies in Poland. We sell to individual landlords. We partner with the biggest players in the sector, for example, Autodom, OLX, you know them for sure. And from the insurance side, we work with PZU, one of the biggest insurance groups in Eastern Europe. We are an award-winning startup, and we hope to continue this way. And the startup is created by a set of individuals from various backgrounds, with international experience, with business and tech experience. And also we've been supported by some angel investors that had a lot of experience in the insurance fintech sector over the last years. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. And here are my contact details. If you guys are tenants or landlords, you know who to contact.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for your pitch. And now let's jump straight to the questions because we have only 2 minutes left. Are there any questions from our judges?
Hey, Piotr. I have one question. I suppose you are just in Poland at the moment in terms of market, or also in other ones?
We are just in Poland right now. We are exploring opportunities to expand, and we will have first pilots in the European countries this year.
What's the strategy behind that expansion? If you can tell me, what are the first 3 steps that you need to go through in order to move to another country?
Well, it might be not a very startup-y way, but first find a client. So we are planning to actually start not with a country manager, but with a client, and then serve the country partially also from Poland. We are lucky that a lot of our international clients that operate in Poland, they have their entities also abroad. So it will be also sort of creating a network effect within their own organizations. So we'll be going to another country together with a client that we already work with in the Polish market.
And the insurance product that you provide is actually a package that you do with the insurance company you partner, correct?
Yes, that's correct. And
And
that's
who's going to provide
very
that in other countries?
No, it wouldn't be provided by the same insurance group. Unfortunately, I would love that. But given the fact that there are more and more companies that provide sort of like an embedded insurance products and sort of provide the underwriting capability, and we are, of course, after our first conversations with them, I don't think it would be a big issue.
All right, we don't
Thank
have
you.
time for any additional questions, so thanks so much. Once again, big
Thank
round
you.
of applause. And I'd like to welcome on stage in person Julia Bialecka and SLab.
Hi everyone, I'm Julia and I'm CEO and co-founder of SLab. Have you ever thought that durability of packaging is hundreds of years when the products in it can be in use just for a few minutes? For example, styrofoam. Every single unit that was ever produced out of styrofoam still remains somewhere on the landfills, and even worse, it pollutes air, soil, and oceans. Our solution is a truly green packaging that consists of only two plant-based components, which are hemp and mycelium. Mycelium is a mushroom root, and once it is mixed with hemp, it starts to bind or to glue everything together, and we get a very strong material that can replace styrofoam. This packaging is 100% biodegradable. After the usage, it can be thrown with the rest of the garbage, and it will fully disappear in just 30 days. Just imagine packaging that will never end up on the landfills. On top of that, our packaging repels water and it is thermally insulating. There are other packaging alternatives, but first, they are not as biodegradable as we would like to. And second, they still cannot be produced and distributed in the industrial scale. But guess what? We have unlocked scalability with a simple solution where we have 40-foot containers and we place the mini factories in them. Those containers are set up at the customer's premises, and that's where packaging is produced. And this way, we make sure that sustainable packaging is available everywhere. Just the styrofoam packaging market is $13 billion, but our technology allows us to replace other packaging materials. So our potential market could actually be $1 trillion per year. We already have 10 recurring clients that bring us up to $3,000 of MRR, and we started to work on the pilot projects with big companies such as Newpost, the biggest Ukrainian delivery service, and the cosmetics brand L'Oreal and Medic Aid. And we have some investors on board, like startup Wise Guys. Currently, we are building a pilot production line that will serve two purposes. One, to produce packaging, and second, to further scale to the mini factories in the 40-foot containers. And we are starting a pre-seed round for that, and you still can join it. Our core team consists of 4 people. Eugene and me are 2 co-founders, and we are happily married for 10 years. And then we hired Vasil, who has already done industrialization of the manufacturing processes, and Dasha, who has converted a famous fashion brand to the sustainable packaging in just 6 months. But the main thing that we are on a mission here to make sure that good packaging is distributed and produced at any location of the world. Thank you very much. I'm Julia from SLab.
Bravo. And now let's move on to the questions. We've got 4 minutes. Are there any questions from our judges?
Julia, thanks for your pitch. I would like to ask about the competition, because I haven't seen it in the presentation.
Yeah, there are other packaging, of course, alternatives, but first, they are not biodegradable as ours, not 100%. And there is no replacement currently of the styrofoam. So, of course, the market of the sustainable packaging is expanding, and one of the most rapidly expanding markets in terms of packaging. It's like 9% per year, growth per year. But again, and I know that's not a good thing to say for a startup, that we don't have competition, but in terms of the styrofoam, no one is doing something like that. And the main thing is that no one is doing something biodegradable at 100%.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you for your pitch. And I would like to ask, do you have any constraints in terms of getting these mushroom roots and so on? I mean, the real purpose of my question is how scalable is your business?
Yep, I see. So we need two types of raw material. One is hemp, and we use hemp's stem. That basically is a waste, agricultural waste that remains on the fields after the harvest. So we do not compete with anyone really for that. And we also, if for some reason there is no hemp stem in the market, we could use corn stem or wheat stem, so basically any other agricultural waste. In terms of mycelium or mushroom roots, that's interesting that we need so tiny amounts of them that we don't really care, or we just cultivate them in our own laboratory, and it will be enough for time being.
2 minutes left.
Julia, thanks for the presentation.
Thank you.
I love numbers, so it's going to be a number-related question. Have you done a comparison between the current state of art in terms of packaging for a company like L'Oreal, and what is the difference in cost for them using your solution? I would like to know.
In terms of the cost, we are on the same price because in the styrofoam there are additional costs, not only the material itself, but you need the molding tools, the cutting tools, and so on, it's a very expensive entry. But in our case, we don't need any of those tools. So comparing those two, we are on the same price.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of life cycle analysis, the emission, you have calculated that the emission in terms of CO2 is way lower. Do you know the percentage?
I mean, the styrofoam is so bad. The 2.3 million tons of styrofoam are produced every year just for the packaging. And this means that it is like 12 million kilotons every year of CO2. When our packaging really doesn't give any emissions. Of course, production might, we might have some emissions during the production, but we are using the green source of power, and we are making our production more efficient in terms of water and electricity. So we use 5 times less electricity, and we reuse water all the time. So like 95% of water are reused all the time in our production. So we want to produce sustainable product and produce it sustainably. So it's also important for us.
Great answer. Thank you.
Any last questions? Because we have 40 seconds. No? All right. Would you like to add something to our audience?
No, thank you very much. I'm really grateful to be here and to reproduce Ukrainian ecosystem as well of the startups. And thank you for all the support that Poland's been giving so far. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Okay, and now let's see if we can dial in our next startup. And it's Darvis and Niklas Schwarz. All right, we can see you. Yeah, we can hear you as well. Perfect. So I'm starting the clock to 3 minutes. Go ahead. Good luck.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Niklas, project manager at Darvis. Glad to be here with you all. Who is Darvis? Darvis was founded in 2015 and offers a productivity as a service platform that delivers visibility into almost any supply chain. With more than 100 employees on 3 continents, we develop cutting-edge computer vision to reveal striking inefficiencies in supply chains and also relieve personnel from unwanted and unrelated tasks. Why computer vision? So computer vision makes it possible to localize objects with an accuracy to 1 centimeter, which is far more exact than any other technology. Furthermore, we can train any object in any process, which gives us a huge deal of flexibility and lets us deliver exactly the kind of visibility that our client wants. Last but not least, we can integrate and deploy our solution into an existing infrastructure. So even when we develop future use cases, we can rely on the same infrastructure, which makes us extremely scalable. Why logistics? So inefficiencies in logistics is not a new topic, even though the pandemic might have made it very obvious to some companies. Large companies lose up to $5 billion a year because of unnecessary dwell times. Guess what? These inefficiencies are still going to stay because many companies lack this extra layer of visibility. And this is exactly where Darvis comes in. Let me show you with 2 examples how we work with our clients. So in healthcare, we can localize hospital beds as they move around the hospital. But on top of that, we can share the real-time status. Is the bed clean? Is it unclean? Is it occupied or free? And because we are an AI company, we can extract even more information out of the visual data. We can find movement patterns which are likely to result in a fall of the patient, which would cost hospitals up to $40,000 per fall, and obviously a lot of pain and trouble for the patient. Second example, yes, we can detect boxes. We can also detect barcodes and QR codes, so we can design a whole process for our clients, including multiple stakeholders. So when a carrier delivers a package in a mail room, we can push a notification to the end user. They can show up at the mail room, authenticate themselves with a QR code, and later we make sure that only the parcel is being taken that they have come to pick up. This includes everyone with our technology, and it's a big benefit to the client. Finally, privacy is our priority. There's no live stream or no camera to monitor principle, because even the computing happens in real time. Please come closer and see what wasn't visible before. Let's talk.
Okay, I believe that the pitch is done. So thanks a lot, and let's move to the questions. We've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. Who'd like to start from our judges?
Hi, Niklas. Angelo here. Thank you.
Hi.
Could you please tell us who are your biggest clients at the moment in terms of volume of sales?
Yes. So as I said, we're in 3 continents. In Northern America, the United Postal Service is our largest client. And the latest use case that I presented was one that we developed with them. We constantly develop new use cases. In Europe, we are stronger in healthcare at the moment. We work with a large hospital here in Hamburg, where I'm calling in from right now, where we do surgical tracking and offer this exact visibility to the client, as I shared.
And is the bed use case something that you have actually deployed at a client premises?
Yes, there's a POC ongoing right now where we do this bed tracking use case. In the US is also a separate use case where we develop the fall prevention product with a client in Tennessee. So both products are being developed right now in separate POCs, but because it's a platform, we can integrate it later as well.
Okay. Thank you, Niklas.
Thank you, Niklas, for your pitch. I would like to understand your business model. Could you tell me something about this?
Yes. So we have a B2B and B2G business model. We develop our solution for organizations, large companies, and it's a subscription-based model. So depending on the complexity, the amount of optical sensors that we have in place, it's an annual subscription that we charge our clients with. And obviously, depending on their, let's say, maturity as a digital company, it's possible that also one-off setup costs will be necessary for the client to develop the hardware and infrastructure. And we also charge a one-off installation fee so that we can run our models.
And currently, how many clients have you got?
So we've got 6 large paying clients, which you can also see on this slide if it's still visible for you. And we are actively working with partners such as T-Systems and Bosch in Germany, or Olive Healthcare, Olive AI, which is a healthcare platform in the US, to constantly develop our client relationship. Because we're a product company, we want to develop the product as well as possible. Happy to find distribution partners who bring in new clients.
And last question from me. How much time takes to onboard the client, as big client as you said you have in your portfolio?
Yes. So when you talk about large clients, it still depends on the use case. So when we talk about fall prevention, we're assuming that the installation fee at the client, or the installation time at the client, will only be a couple of weeks, because we can focus on certain areas and less stakeholders inside the organization are involved. When we talk about bed tracking, where we really want to cover corridors throughout the whole hospital, or or surgical tray tracking, where also additional training efforts will be necessary. This can take up to 6 months or more. Usually the roadblocker is not Darvis. Usually there are a lot of discussions internally, formalities that have to be solved. So I would say between a few weeks and half a year.
Thank you, Niklas. We ran out of time, but big round of applause for you from Wrocław. And let's move on to our next startup, Kibus Petcare and Albert Eickart. Let's see if we can dial you in to join us here in Wrocław. All right, we can see your slides and we can hear you. I'm starting the clock. Good luck.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. This is Kibus, the first device that cooks healthy dog food automatically. It is the Nespresso for pet food. I'm Albert Eickart, the CEO, and I've been involved in the industry for all my life. My grandfather founded a company that has been feeding animals for almost 70 years, and I used to be the sales and marketing director. After years of experience, I realized that the number of pet owners considering their pets as part of the family is constantly increasing, and they want to give them the best nutrition. They are no longer satisfied with the heavily processed traditional foods, and they are moving to healthier alternatives like cooking at home. However, these are very inconvenient and require a preparation process before every meal. Kibus solves this problem by allowing pet parents to feed their pets on a healthy and natural diet in the most convenient way. They only need to fill the water tank and fill the food tank with our recipes once a week, and that's it. Kibus makes the rest. It makes the whole cooking process automatically. And when the food is ready, the orange ball goes out and there is a sound to warn the pet. It has also water always available for drinking. And it is an IoT device, so you can schedule all meals and control everything from your smartphone. It works with our own recipes of human-grade meats, fruits, and vegetables, where only the water is removed for a longer shelf life, but keeping all the nutrients and the flavors from the fresh ingredients. Therefore, it has many advantages in terms of taste and health, giving dogs a longer and happier life. We are selling with a subscription model D2C online, where you get a personalized plan and can subscribe to the full system for only a monthly fee, starting at €39 a month. Pet food is a large market, with more than 500 million dogs and cats in the world, eating every year over €100 billion only in pet food. And the alternative foods are already the category with the highest growth in the industry. We are competing against corporates and also against emerging startups selling alternative food. And we also compete against pet feeders. However, they only dose traditional heavily processed foods, while we are cooking warm and healthy food for pets. We are 4 co-founders. I come from the pet food industry. Albert Toms has a financial background in companies like Coca-Cola and Nespresso. Marta Risa has experience in creating and scaling startups in the UPC University. And Paul Disray has experience in the mass production of consumer electronics in China and in the UK. So far, we have been developing our solution for over 3 years, and we have protected and certified everything and are ready for mass production. We have also validated the full system with over 200 beta testers and raised over €1 million so far. We are partnering with Nestlé Purina, the largest pet food company in the world, and we hope to partner with LG as well. We are now fundraising to invest in increasing our team and marketing activities to reach 2,000 subscribers within the next month. Our technology has already been awarded by renowned entities all over the world, and we hope to have you on board to change the pet food industry worldwide together. Thank you.
Perfect, thanks a lot. And now let's move on to the questions. Who'd like to start?
Thank you for your pitch. And one question from me. Where do you operate right now, and what are your plans to expand?
So now we have been developing for 3 years now, and we have just certified the product with the CE mark, and we are preparing for the launch in Spain first, and our plan is to go to the largest European markets next.
And do you want to produce the food like locally in the markets, or would you like to produce it in Spain and send it to the clients?
We produce in Spain now. We take the ingredients from the human-grade supply chain, not from the pet food ingredients. So it's whole ingredients, no byproducts. And we are doing it in Spain at the moment, but we will start in the future when we expand to have it produced locally as well, because it's not an industrial process like the extruded pet food. So it's something easier to deploy in other countries, so we can offer a local experience to our consumers in the future.
Sorry, one more question. What is the cost of the hardware that you produce?
Now it's a little bit high because of the macroeconomic issues, but our target cost is 120 euro.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Hi, Albert. Thanks for the presentation. You mentioned Purina as one of your partners, but you also mentioned before that you kind of differentiate yourself from those big providers that have highly processed food. What is the partnership that you have with Purina?
So we have a co-innovation project. We have made a shared team between members of Kibus and Purina, and we are leveraging, because they have a huge knowledge of the consumer and the market as well. And we are doing activities to refine our commercial strategy. And yeah, they are mainly in the traditional solutions now, but they are also looking at the future for new solutions that can be the future of the industry.
Mm-hmm. And what is the value that they're looking for? What is the interest that they have in collaborating with you?
So they have invested now some money, some 50,000 euro, but it's equity free. But they have the right to exchange so it's a 6-month partnership now, and at the end of it, if everything goes as planned, we can extend it to 3 years more, and I think it's for both sides long-term cooperation if things go well. They have done this with other startups and they acquired them in the end, so I think it goes in this kind of collaboration.
So you hope that you're gonna tap into their distribution capabilities?
So we are not yet there, but we are starting with this 6-month cooperation and then see, but they are already helping to get us through the relevant points of sale and also the relevant people within Nestlé to solve the challenges we have along the way.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we don't have time for more, but thanks so much for sharing your pitch with us and for answering the questions. And now let's move on to Soundream and Ana Laguna. Also joining us online. Hello.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can see your slides. So you've got 3 minutes to pitch. Good luck.
Clear. Okay, so hello everybody. It's a pleasure to be here, and congratulations to the rest of the startups. As I already mentioned yesterday, this is a very improvised pitch because I'm spontaneously representing our CEO here, who just have a baby some hours ago. No, so let me introduce myself and the company. I'm Ana Laguna. I'm a co-founder together with Roberto, the CEO of the company. I'm also a researcher within the company. And Soundream is a health tech startup based in Switzerland and in Spain, where we translate newborn cries. This is an adventure that started more or less 5 years ago when I had my first child. And for hobby, I started collecting and analyzing my baby cries. So it was the data scientist curiosity. But apart from that, I was also concerned about, I'm going to be able to understand my baby. And it seems that I was not the only one, as 80% of new parents feel anxious and completely unprepared for raising their coming babies, which is understandable because more than 40% of baby deaths occurs during the very first month. However, 2/3 could be prevented by early diagnosis and treatment. That's why we have Soundream. Soundream is a solution based on sound processing and artificial intelligence, where we analyze infant cries, not only from a communicative perspective, where we analyze needs and emotions, if the baby is hungry, sleepy, or irritated, but also from a health perspective. We use infant cries as a biomarker to support early detection of pathologies and neurological disorders. As well, it is pretty well known among neonatologists and neuropsychologists that babies at risk of neurological issues, they have an atypical cry. They already analyze it subjectively, and it is what they call neurological cry. And it is also quite evident on children with autism, aphasia, on even eating issues. No? So, okay, how does it work? Our business model is B2B2C, so we license our software into third parties companies' hardware. So our customers could be health tech companies, consumer electronic companies, maybe monitors, trolleys, baby beds, voice assistants. At the end, any device just having a microphone. So licensing our technology is our way to generate revenues and at the same time continue collecting data because it's our treasure. Data is our treasure. Which is the product traction today. So on the needs and emotions part, on the communicative perspective, we have already been testing the technology for more than 8 years with companies all around the world, and it's ready to be launched into the market in 3 different continents at the end of this year, beginning of the. On the health part, we are already running clinical studies with different hospitals, national and internationally, in order to continue increasing our pathological database and be able to have more robust machine learning algorithms that we are going to be able to build. No? All this is thanks to our not only leadership team with a lot of years of experience on business, data science, sound processing, but also our software engineers are of course clinicians, are key parts of the team, no? And well, part of this project was with help of some funding that we get more or less 1 year ago, and now we are looking forward to get some extra money in order to continue our pipeline. So thank you very much. I'm glad to reply to your questions as much as I can. Thank you.
Super. Thank you, Anna. And now let's move on straight to the questions. We've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Who'd like to start?
Yeah, Anna, I'm going to be the first from the jury.
Great.
So I'm very interested to know, and you are a data scientist, so you are the perfect person to answer the question. How did you collect the data and how the labeling works?
Okay. This is a very difficult question. Yeah, so actually, we are collecting the data automatically because we already have an MVP that is very similar to a voice assistant. So all our beta testers have this I don't have it right now, but it's a little box. And actually, whenever there is a cry, it detects the cry. It's like Alexa. When you say Alexa, it activates, no? In our case, when you listen a cry, it activates and starts translating. And at the same time, the families or the clinicians can label this data. But apart from this label from the manual families, we also combine it with all the techniques that are already present in the scientific literature. You know, moms or even neonatologists, they already know which are the acoustics of those cries, depending if the baby is hungry, in pain, or whatever. So combining our knowledge, what the literature, clinical literature says, and also the feedback from the families, we label our data. And of course, we also apply and supervise techniques to see if it fits, no, with these labels.
Supervised learning. And
moreover, what we are doing nowadays is also correlating our cries with neuroimaging to see if what we see activated on the brain, it match with the needs of the baby. So when the baby is hungry, you should see a part of the brain different to the one when the baby is in pain. So this is like our clinical empirical evidence, no, to also confirm all those labels.
Nice. And do you have any hint of what the accuracy could be at this moment?
Yeah, of course. Now the accuracies that we have on the communicative part, they are higher than 90%, much higher than 90%. So we are pretty sure about what we are doing, and all these match with the literature from the last 60 years on cry research. You know, that is not that novel. We are at the end transferring all this knowledge into a deep learning algorithm. That's the key of what we are doing.
Yeah. And last question, do you envision any other application for the same technology?
So what I mentioned is that we have the communicative part to understand what is going on regarding needs, but also the health part. This is going to be key for the next year because we are learning a lot of things. Also in the literature, there are many researchers that have already been studying data, as I said before, the neurological cry. But it's going to be the focus. So we are running multicentric longitudinal studies to collect all these pathological cries too. And in this case, the labels will be the diagnosis of the babies of neurological issues, and we will train robust models with this data.
Love you.
So this is going to be like is the future, no, of the technology at the end, and it's what clinicians love because they trust 100% of that because they already do it subjectively, no. It will be like an objective way to do the same process.
Thank you, Anna. Thanks so much.
Thank
Big
you.
round of applause for Anna from Wrocław. And now let's move on to our next startup who will be in person. And I'd like to invite on stage Maciej Jarząb with Bright Technologies. I can see you approach us, maybe from this side.
Hello guys, I am Maciej. I am the founder and chief dreaming officer of Bright. Why dreaming? I will get back to this topic at the end, but first about the data. Probably all of us here are using most of the applications on in my presentation. Do you know that all of these applications are collecting data, are creating your social profile online and selling it? I know that it's terrifying, and it should be, but not in our case. Bright Technologies is a deep tech company developing behavioral scoring system for the young and unbanked. We are fighting for the financial inclusion. We are fighting for the young people without an access to the external capital because they don't have credit history, they don't have financial history, so banks and financial institutions cannot assess their risks, so they don't have an access to the financial industry. So we are licensing our technology in the B2B SaaS model, subscription per inquiry, to the banks and financial institutions. We are already in the 4 countries and looking for more. But we are not the best in the collecting data. We are collecting more than 3,000 behavioral data points per one user. Anything from geolocation, shopping intents, articles read, usage of mobile applications, and so many more. But we are the best in the world in the prediction. So in the analysis of data, we achieve 95% of the predictions. So it means that we can predict our clients' behavior with 95%, which is a top-notch result, not only in Europe, not only in Poland, but also globally. So going back to my dreaming thing, I've not been dreaming about becoming a local superpower, not the Polish one, not the European one. I've been always dreaming about being the global one. That's why it's not only a dream for me right now, it's a plan, it's a short-term plan. We already achieved 150K euro monthly recurring revenue. We are becoming a unicorn next year, hopefully. So guys, it's a last call for you to jump in, to get on the plane with us and go together and becoming next Polish global unicorn. And one last thing, guys, don't be afraid of dreaming. It's always a beginning of something big. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. And now let's move on to the questions. Are there any from our judges?
So could you tell us about your plans, how to expand to this unicorn?
Yeah, of course. It's already planned, and now it's let's say, ongoing plan. So we are already on the Polish, Czech, and Spanish markets. Soon in US, we already have started talks for the Series B round, and Series B gonna be the unicorn for us, for sure. So it's all in place. We have clients, we have partners, we have traction. Now it's time to raise Series A round and go big together.
Could you please tell us more about your clients, especially in Poland, for example?
Yeah. It's one bank, it's one big lending company, and one e-commerce. Right now, we have 6 clients, to be honest, but 3 big and 3 small ones.
And from the legal side, is it possible to transfer this data and analyze it?
Yeah, we are, of course, we are GDPR compliant with the European and local laws. The only thing that the client has to put on their website or in the mobile application is the consent that we can firstly collect data and then analyze it and send the result to the client at the end. So it's super easy and it's super compliant with the European law.
You mentioned a 95% accuracy.
Right.
How is that calculated?
So we calculated on our own sample. So firstly, in order to become a tech company, we had to create a lending company because there is only one way to build AI system, let's say the really efficient AI system. It's built on your own transactions data. So we executed more than 100K observations, and based on that, we achieved 95% of the prediction. So it means that we only have had 5% of defaults.
Observations, you mean clients?
Yeah, exactly, clients. So it's really a story. Yeah, it's not like theoretical bullshit. It's like real story in our lending company.
And the number of transactions per clients?
It was like 1.8 per client, if I remember correctly.
Okay. And do you think that a higher level of transaction may negatively affect that accuracy?
Could you repeat it?
If an higher volume of transaction per client may negatively affect the accuracy?
Hard question to answer right now. I can get back to you after that, so it's going to be easier with my CTO. Yeah, thanks.
Lovely. Thank you.
And when you are going to expand in other markets, it needs a lot of time to translate something or to... How are you going to do so? And how many times it can...
Yeah, so we already did it once before even Spain with Ukraine, but unfortunately due to the war, it stopped. But basically we have at least 3 ways of scaling our business. First way is through hiring our own guys, our own internal team on site. Second thing is through our let's say external partner, like consulting company or like company that's helping us to scale it up, like we do in the Spain, for example. On the third way is a mixed one, which is my favorite one, to be honest. So we hire our own, let's say, part of the team internally, and then we use our network, we use our partners' network in order to acquire new clients there.
I don't think we have time for more questions, but big round of applause.
Thank you very much.
To Maciej, and thanks a lot for joining us on stage. And now let's see if we can dial in our next startup, and it's going to be Supliful and Martins Lasmanis. All right, we can see you and your presentation. Can we check if we can hear you?
Hi, everyone.
Yes, we can. Perfect. So you've got 3 minutes. Good luck.
There are 200 million creators globally, but 60% of them struggle to make money with their content, creating a $1 trillion market opportunity. Hi, I'm Martins, founder and CEO of Supliful, and we make it easy for creators to launch their own private label brand to earn more money. Meet Mason. He's a fitness creator, and he is struggling getting the brand promotion deals needed to support his lifestyle. So he's constantly looking for other ways to earn more. He had an idea of launching his own supplement brand, but he quickly realized that it is really hard. He needs to invest a lot of money upfront, spend months to find the right production partners, set up distribution, and hire a team of people just to run the whole operation. So it was too complicated and too risky for him. So he ditched the idea. One day, scrolling through his social feed, he noticed a Supliful ad. Launch your own supplement brand for free. It sounded too good to be true, but he decided to give it a try. With just a couple of clicks, Mason registered on Supliful, chose his products, branded the labels, and launched his online store. And that's when things really took off. 5 months into partnership with Supliful, Mason has made more than $100,000 in revenue, all while enjoying his life in Miami and creating awesome content for his followers. And it's possible because Supliful acts as a silent partner on behalf of all of our creators. We are unifying the entire business cycle from product selection all the way through online store setup and order deliveries into a single digital platform with no upfront cost. And creators absolutely love our solution. We have been live in beta for 8 months and has established a robust infrastructure in the US market and have helped creators make almost $500,000 in revenue while maintaining a solid 20% month-over-month growth. And we have been the creators ourselves. We bootstrapped our first e-commerce brand in the US market and successfully sold it in 2020. Our team knows exactly what type of tools we need to build, to make sure that our creators succeed. We're backed by the top investors in Baltics, including operators at Bolt, Startup Wise Guys, and Diaspora Ventures from San Francisco. Now we are raising our $2 million seed round to onboard hundreds of creators and help them earn more money. We already have half of that in bank, but there's still room to join. So if you're interested, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm Martin, founder and CEO of Subtful. We make it easy for creators to launch their own private label brand to earn more money.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. Big
Thank
round
you.
of applause for Martins. And let's move on straight to the questions. Who'd like to start?
Thank you very much. So could you please clarify to me, because I don't know if I fully understand the concept, but you have the like central warehouse from which you can send the products and like market as influencers want to be marked these products, yeah?
Yes, exactly. So if you are, for example, a finance influencer, you have your own brand, you have tons of followers, you go to our website, you choose a product, link to your online store, and publish it. And as you start selling those products, actually in the backend, they come to our warehouse in Denver, where we package them, label them according to your branding guidelines, and ship them to your end customer.
Okay, thank you. And you operate in USA, yeah? Or other markets?
Yes, so we are currently only operating in the US. We have Europe in stealth mode, but due to our stretch team, we have a limited capacity to cater the European market. And plus, it's much more fragmented than US. So hence, we focused only on the US market.
Okay, thank you very much.
Are there any other questions?
Hey, Martin. Angelo here.
Hi.
Tell us a little about the biggest challenges that you have experienced so far in terms of the supply chain.
So currently we are sourcing all the products from 7 different suppliers in the US. So we vet them, understand what type of items they have. And of course, we're seeing that, for example, there are delays in deliveries. There are some ingredients missing, so those products basically cannot be delivered. So on our part, it's like communicating that as thoroughly and as fast as possible to all of our creators to make sure that they can then further communicate that to their customers. And everyone is, understandable. The key part is to be fully transparent on what is the status of things.
But isn't one of the key factors also the quality of those products, and actually what is the selection of those products in order to be like fitting the audience of the content creator? How do you deal with that?
Yeah. So first of all, what we're doing, we have a specific criteria on how we select which type of suppliers we partner with. So we check that they have all the necessary certificates, that they comply with the FDA guidelines in terms of production. And we have in the plans to introduce our own third-party lab tests. So basically, any product that comes to our facility, we actually test them in-house and we provide those results to our creators to make sure that they feel safe that actually what's in the product is actually there.
Mm-hmm. And how do you pick which type of products you will put in your portfolio?
Yeah, that's another good question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so currently what we are targeting is a fitness creator vertical. So it's a $1.2 billion market, just that one vertical. So we are focused more on supplement products. Hence, we are checking. There's first of all, it's 2 parts. One part is that you just add macro elements that any type of fitness creator would want to add in their store. And then we are looking for products that have a different type of unique selling points, which could allow those fitness creators to tell a story around them. So it's basically sourcing procedures that we are employing and fulfilling our product catalog.
Thank you, Martins. We ran out of time, but thanks so much for your pitch and for answering the questions. Now, let's move on to our next startup, also dialing in online, and it's Bizonte and Łukasz Satkowski. Hello?
Good afternoon. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, and we can see your slides as well, so I'm starting the clock. You've got
All
3
right.
minutes. Good.
Great. Okay, good afternoon again. Well, first of all, thank you. It's really nice that Bizonte was chosen to compete in the finals. I wish I could be in person, but I guess online will do. So, as I said, I represent Bizonte, and Bizonte is about to become a leader in underwater robotics. And what exactly is underwater robotics? Well, to explain that, we have to look at the underwater services market. When you look at any infrastructure or any investment that is offshore, from oil and gas industry through ports to offshore wind farms, all of that infrastructure requires constant inspections, maintenance, and on the construction stage, it also requires a lot of surveys, and after that, decommissioning and, of course, repairs. And to achieve that, we have different options. There are divers and there are ROVs. And divers are quite self-explanatory. They're human beings. They always risk their life when they go underwater. And ROVs is a short form remotely operated vehicle, which is basically underwater drone, underwater robot. And we can roughly divide them into two sections: inspection ROVs, which are quite small and nimble, although they lack capabilities. They are quite like cameras on a string. And then we have world-class ROVs, which are bigger, sometimes in several tons. They are workhorses of the industry. They can perform many tasks, but they are quite expensive, dangerous, really hard to deploy. And this is pretty much what the market used for many years until now, because we came up with Nix 300. It is our own ROV based on patented technology, variable geometry hull technology. And not going to technicalities, the simple explanation: we have inspection class sized ROV that has capabilities of world class ROVs, often 10 times smaller and 10 times lighter than the world class in comparison. We basically took the best traits of divers, inspection ROVs, and world class ROVs and bundled them together into our product with additional benefits. And to explain that, on this market, the versatility, the size and the weight of the unit is the deciding factor when it comes to the whole cost of the operation. And the market, it is quite big, it is growing. It is set to reach $9.5 billion in 2028. And it is not taking into account the fact that renewable sources of energy, such as offshore wind farms, are growing really rapidly, and they are set to exceed oil and gas market at some point. And also you can see 30% of the market, 1/3 of the market currently is in Europe, and we are based in Europe, so it's quite easy to reach that market. It is a good time to actually go into that market, and we've been developing this solution for several years. We started in 2015 with proof of concept, and over the years we've been awarded multiple times on different exhibitions. We acquired grants, governmental grants, and we also attracted investors along the way. And right now we're going to the market with Nix 300, and it was developed with cooperation with Seaport of Gdańsk. Seaports are quite harsh environments for ROVs, and developing it according to the needs of that environment actually makes it the best solution for the other market segments. But that's just the beginning, basically. And the Nix 300 is the beginning of the whole family, because the technology is fully scalable. We can make it bigger, we can go deeper to address other markets, some more, some less exotic. And some of the markets that are not there yet, like deep sea mining, and currently we are the only company that has technology to actually address that market. And as behind every other company, there are people. Behind Bizonte, there's a lot of extremely good engineers, innovative inventors with multiple patents, and a broad board of advisors with extreme experience in business development. And this is pretty much it in short terms. And we're currently going to the market with Nix 300. We're gathering investment round currently. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Big round of applause for you from Wrocław. And let's move on to the questions. We've got 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Very, very interesting presentation. I would like to ask, what is the exact stage of the development of your product?
Okay. So as I showed you on the presentation, in 2015 we had a proof of concept, and over the years we were developing it more and more. And just before COVID, we had a prototype that was tested in a real environment. And what we have now, what we've been developing with Seaport of Gdańsk, is basically a product, and we're going to the market. I cannot really, because you have to understand, I'm not taking this lightly when I say that this is quite disruptive technology on the market. We have potential customers that we're talking with, but they cannot specify even the sector of the market at this stage. But this is a product at this point.
Thank you.
How much time you need to finish the product, and how much money you have to spend into this?
Okay, so basically the product is almost finished. As I said, we already had a prototype. This is just a newer version that was developed according to the specific market needs. So it's basically almost there. I would say it's a matter of days at this point. But the money we are gathering is to accelerate the expansion. And there are many ways to do that, of course, but the general idea is that we are addressing a European market, which is quite big, especially considering the fact that there's a lot of governmental pushes and programs going towards the renewable sources of energy, like offshore wind farms. And current technology competition, they don't really have the exact ROVs or tech that is actually applicable there. There are, of course, everyone is trying to do that, but, well, what we have is quite completely different when it comes to construction itself.
Okay, thank you so much. We just ran out of time. Big round of applause again for you. And we are moving on to Łukasz again, but this time Łukasz Piotrowski and Omnias. Let's see if we can connect. Hello?
I believe we're in. Hello, Wrocław.
Yes. Yes. All right, I'm starting the clock. You've got 3 minutes. Good luck.
Fantastic. My name is Lucas. I'm a CEO and founder of Omnias, the metaverse for physical retail. Back in the days, the life of the retailers was much easier. The consumers were coming simply to the store. With the appearance of the internet, the retailers started to shift away from their core competence and drift into something what is today called multi-channel. What does it mean? 2 strategies, 2 teams, 2 KPIs. It's time to change it. Omnias will bring all stakeholders back into the physical store and provide them with the true omni-channel experience. So how does it look like in practice? The consumer walks into the store, opens the application of the retailer, where our SDK with the technology is plugged in. Because we recognize the vast amount of the products in a second, we overlay the content, 2D, 3D, quests, games, rebates, promotions, just name them, whichever the brand wants, because they are managing the content on the Google AdWords-like platform. Because we recognize the entire shelf, we're being able to advise the consumer, displaying only the vegan products, gluten-free, paraben-free, etc. Omnias runs in an enterprise SaaS model with the B2B subscription, creating the flywheel effect between the retailers and brands. The biggest benefit for the retailers, because of this digital layer, is the new e-revenue streams. For the brands, it's the offline to online marketing channel with the clear ROI. And for the consumers, it's all about the personalization in a physical store. Summarizing, we drive more traffic with the gaming. We increase the sales thanks to the individualization of the experience. Because we engage the consumers, the whole data comes in a fraction of the price, thanks to which the retailers don't have to invest into the expensive cameras or the robots. And all this comes on a single platform. We started this journey more than 2 years ago with the POC in Singapore. We're revenue driven with the trusted partners on the global contracts. we recently concluded the consumer test on 500 consumers, where we received a whooping confirmation that the metaverse of Omnias will be used in their own 8,000 stores. We also focus in the next quarters on growing the MRR. By 2025, we want the Omnias to be available for every single retail store. In order to support it, last year we received the R&D grant for the computer vision. We're running the bridge financing at the moment in order to arrive next year to the flywheel effect creation and exit to the major metaverse player. Our team comprised 3 international leaders, myself, Polish, coming from the retail background, Mark, Swiss, coming from the agency background, and Adams, British, with the more than 100 IT implementations. We're supported by the best AI experts in Poland and a team of 12. We're seeking right now the bridge financing on a convertible note where 50-50 is being used to the product and the commercialization. Thank you very much. Myself, I'm online, but my head of strategy is sitting right behind you, so he can wave. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. And now let's move on straight to the questions. We've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds for that.
Hey, Lukasz. Thanks for the presentation.
Thank you.
I'm very interested to know what are the main achievement that you need to have in order to hit those numbers at Series A, in terms of course, valuation that you plan to get the money that you are planning to spend.
Mm-hmm. So the business model which you see here is based on the subscription, $10 per store, $10 per SKU inside the store per chain. Just to give you the comparison, the camera technology, which is provided by the Amazon Go technology, for the size of the store of 7-Eleven or Żabka, cost $156,000 per year. So the model is being built in this way, and that's where we look for the penetration of the market from the store and from the SKU perspective.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Do you know any other companies who do same things as you are?
Right. So in our competitors' benchmark, we look at the matrix, where we divide them between the 3 value propositions for the consumer, retailer, and brands. And between them, there is the consumer experience applications, there is a shelf recognitions company, and a brand's experience driven through the augmented reality. So based on this, nobody is providing the Web 3.0 capabilities, because this Web 3.0 capability is the new technology which is coming. But the competitors are working in a specific segments.
Okay, thank you.
And what you believe is going to be the main stream of revenue in the next 5 years?
Mm-hmm. So we're going back to a very similar question, which you asked before. Nevertheless, it's a revenue from the merchandising analysis of the shelf, and that's really our go-to-market strategy, because single merchant, let's take the retailer of the size of Biedronka. There is approximately 4,000 merchandisers on the payroll monthly, where 50% of their time is being spent on analyzing the shelf, 50% on the exposition. We'll be able to, with the technology, and we already tackled this challenge on the computer vision, to bring this half time down to 10 minutes. With the incorporation of the, because it's only 10 minutes, we'll be able to deploy it directly into the store so that they can actually walk around the store and analyze the shelf. And the third level is exactly the platform enablement for the consumers with the advertising capability, where the brands can take control and the retailers can actually become their own Facebook.
Yeah, because this is a lot of data regarding the customer behavior inside the store. So are you thinking to monetize also the possibility to make like predictive analysis on how to even position the products on the shelves, or you know, the aisles itself with the different type of products?
Correct. There is, based on my experience and the feedbacks with the investor, the key is to focus on the core revenue stream and talk about the additional revenue streams where this one is mastered. So yes, there are different revenue streams. There is a potential of the monetization of the data. Nevertheless, I would add that the data lays directly on the retailer side, and they have a consent for the brands in order to access it.
Thank you so much, Łukasz. We ran out of time, but big round of applause again to you from Wrocław. And now in Wrocław, we have Challenge Rocket and Tomasz Florczak, who'll join us on this floor. Here you are.
Thank you. Okay, now we're all set up. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're starting the weekend and you're still all here in the audience listening to the presentation, so I truly appreciate it. And I will tell you the story about hiring and how we think it can be truly reinvented. So all of you, you've been in the process either as employers or job candidates, and probably it was some sort of fun experience for you or absolutely terrible one or anything in between. And probably you've encountered some of those problems. So for hiring brands, needless to say, it is very tough to fill open tech position with the right fit. And the brands needs to go beyond the job listing, but they lack tools to effectively engage so-called passive candidates. And from the perspective of candidates, well, if you're senior level Java engineer, life is good. You can pick and choose different options. But still, there's a quite tough competition for the top brands, and you can be annoyed about some parts of the process. If you're a junior level person, well, that's a bit of a different story, because you might be very talented, but you can still easily get rejected from the recruitment process if your skills do not shine from your resume. And we don't like it. And our vision is that we believe that every single candidate, regardless of their education, background, levels of experience, should have this chance to demonstrate their true skills in front of hiring brands and be evaluated based on that, based on their merits. And there are no just fluffy words. Let me show you with one example how we make it happen. So picture this, you're a candidate, there's a brand like Coke, right? And you're applying to job. So first of all, it starts in a regular way, you're leaving some information about you, and then there's no waiting time to be for the job interview. You're showing off your skills up front. You can show your analytical skills, business skills, or you can show your coding skills, solving some problems online. And then the magic happens because our platform is automatically evaluating your skills. And based on that, you're being given early decision from the brand. Like it can be you're in the top 5% of the talents who are automatically accepted for the next round of the interview. You have quick, easy, transparent, unbiased process with the brand. And the hiring brands, they are getting pool of talent, pre-assessed pool of talent, so they get some early insights into skills. And now, we have proven the effectiveness of the process with some SMEs and big Fortune 500 brands, including companies like Samsung or UI. And we have proven that we can deliver value, that we can increase the key hiring metrics like time to hire, cost to hire, quantity of talent, quality of talent, and number of candidates received. So we have received quite a lot of love from the brands. We have also received quite a lot of love from our candidates because they love the process. Over 100,000 people joined the platform so far. And it's working with a simple, flexible model when you can pay per talent or pay per platform usage. But we're not stopping there. We're actually going beyond it. And this is the first time we wanted to show that to you at this conference. We are building a new category of tool, not only the hiring platform, but talent engagement platform, where you as a brand, you can engage talent early on, you can form relationships with your future talent pool before they even apply, before they enter the workforce. What you can do is you can compose very immersive experiences for your future candidates, like hands-on learning experiences, competition experiences, so they can join, they can learn with your brand, they can grow with your employer brand. And every single interaction they have with your brand on the platform, it leaves a digital space, a digital trace, excuse my mistake. So you get to know them better, and when the time is right, you can go to the hiring process based on the actual skills. The growth model, in a nutshell, we are growing on new markets, and the model is that we're acquiring capital and partners on the market we wanted to grow. Recently, we want to grow in Japan. We have acquired one of the biggest investors in Southeast Asia, which is the leading recruitment company, and they want to implement our model as the first European company because they see no tool like this. I need to use this opportunity to tell one more thing. We are hiring, and we would truly appreciate if you all consider us as your future employer. So we're very straightforward. Please feel free to say hi and to talk to us afterwards. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. And now let's move on straight to the questions because we've got 2 minutes left.
As long as I know, there is some similar companies as yours and who provide similar services. Could you tell me what is special about your company and this solution?
All right. So speaking about the competitive landscape, a unique thing about us that makes us stand out. First thing number one, is the unique process. There are some companies, some platforms that are used for pre-assessment. If you have your own candidates, you can put them through the test and you're going to get some results afterwards. We're actually applying a sort of different model because we're telling those companies, go ahead with the recruitment process when candidates can show their skills up front, and based on the results they obtain, they will be given some sort of automatic feedback and response. That's thing number one. Thing number two, when it comes to talent engagement, we do not believe there's a direct competitor in this space when you can actually launch different kind of initiatives. Like you can launch hackathon, you can launch learning. There are a lot of learning platforms, but the companies, they are using different kind of distributed tools. One tool, let's say you use Coursera because you want to engage with some learning content with your future candidates. You're using different tool for the conferencing, for the virtual hackathon, and then you're trying to consolidate results and candidates from those tools. You don't know which initiatives are more effective. We are one place when you can effectively attract those candidates, drive engagement, convert them to hires, and we have results. With those brands, with early pilot implementations, those companies are coming back to us because they are getting more candidates. I can elaborate on that, but I want to give you a chance to ask some more questions.
Actually, we don't have time for more questions, but if you'd like to add something to us.
So sorry, guys, about that. Yeah. Thank you so much again.
All right, thanks a lot. And now, let's try to dial in our next online startup. And it is GrabMax and Bruno.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, perfectly. And now I'm starting the clock. You've got 3 minutes. Good luck.
Hello, my name is Bruno Corondi, and I'm going to speak about GrabMax. Basically, GrabMax is providing eyes and brain to the robots. By the way, dzień dobry, panowie. I used to live in Krakow. It was a really nice experience, but today I am in Budapest, so I'm going to present online. I will represent our knowledge via chess. Why I have chosen chess? Because chess is a worldwide game, commonly played, and it's requiring intelligence. I will start the history of chess machines. So basically, Farkas Kempelen built a chess machine, and according to the rumor, is used to play it against Napoleon, Benjamin Franklin, but of course the machine won. It was not a real chess machine, as it was like a mechanical masterpiece, but there was a player inside. So basically not a complete machine. Of course, when we were a child, then we used to play it on internet, but it was mainly a software chess engine. But today, I can claim that we built the real chess machine. Is it playing in your screen?
Unfortunately not.
So basically, this is a real chess machine. When there is a camera which is recognizing my moves, and then there is the AI which is thinking as a player, and then of course there is the robot arm which is playing the chess. So this is a real chess machine. Basically, I would like to invite you to Budapest to challenge yourself or challenge your chess skills, but I will make bet on the machine because it has pretty good AI. So please come to Budapest and challenge yourself. Why I have talk about chess? Basically because it's really goodly represent our power. And there are some industrial problems that we can solve with the same knowledge, like picking from the bin, measuring, machine tending, and pallet building. Those are 4 problems that we can solve with our knowledge. And we have modules, hardware and software, and those modules are solving these problems. So we have bin picking, quality check, machine loading, and palletizing. Each of the modules are in a different state. Bin picking module is ready. And basically, we are looking for investment to finalize our products. To help you to envision where those problems are, I put here a schematic drawing. In this schematic drawing, you can see automotive production line. Of course, bin picking is the feeding of the line. So basically, a robot putting from the bin the materials to the production line, and this is bin picking. So GrabMax bin picking module. Then quality check. Quality check could be at the beginning of the production line, of course, at the end or any stage of the production line. But basically, this is also requires machine vision. Then, of course, you would like to manufacture your product, so there is a machine loading. And at the end of the line, there is palletizing, of course, after the packaging. So this is a schematic, but basically our modules are everywhere in the production line. Then I give you another example where it's really useful, our module. This is intralogistic schematic drawing. So there are the storage bins and there are the orders. And in between there is commissioning. And basically bin picking can be used for commissioning. And in this case, it's bin picking commissioning. A little bit about the GrabMax, how it's built, the topology. So GrabMax is simple. There is a camera. It could be 2D, 3D scanner. So this is the vision. Then there is the controller, which is an industrial PC. And on the PC, there are the different modules running. So it's hardware and software together. And this is the GrabMax. And then, of course, there is the client, which has the needs or the problem or the automotive or intralogistic problem. And GrabMax could be easily connected to any commercial robot like Fanuc, ABB, KUKA, Yaskawa, Universal Robots, and so on. About the product, this is bin picking. So basically, the robot is next to the bin, the camera is upper the bin, it's making a picture, and it's taking from the bin. This is an already installed application at DPV at Szombathely. So our module is ready, and we are already on the market and selling this unit, this module, a complete system. A little bit about technology. Do I have more time, or I am run out already?
You're already in the Q&A, and we've got 1 minute and 30 seconds to go in total.
Okay, sorry. So
No
basically,
problem.
I can go to the details, but I'm ready to answer the questions.
So could you tell us a little bit about the technology?
Yeah, so the technology is let's say simple to understand, but it's a difficult technology. So the scanner is above the bin. It's creating scanning. There is a triangulation. After the triangulation, the point cloud is created, 3D point cloud, and out of the 3D point cloud, there is a recognition and localization, and it's localizing the part. And after the localization, it's giving like the position and the orientation coordinates to the robot. And basically the robot with these coordinates can pick up. We are in that phase that we are going to create also the path planning for the robots. But of course, we need to create for every brand. So first ABB, then Fanuc, then Mitsubishi, and so on. So we need to do it one by one as all the robots are different. So basically, this is it.
Do you sell your products actually?
Yes, we are selling our products, and I'm going to go to the the business model. Sorry. So basically, there are the industrial problems, and there is the GrabMax modules. In between, there are the robotic system integrators, and we are selling to the robotic system integrators our product, and basically they are building the entire system, like conveyor, like robot programming, PLC programming, safety, and so on. But we are selling to them, and basically our product is relatively, let's say, easily defined, and they are building a bigger machine. And yes, to answer your question, we are already selling to it. So the video that you have seen earlier, this is already an installed reference at VPV Szombathely.
Thank you, Bruno. We ran out of time, but thanks a lot. Big round of applause for you from Wrocław. And last but not least, let's hear more from Natalia Ciosek and Ultron AR. Let's see if we can connect. Hi, Natalia.
Hello, can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, we can. I'm starting the clock. You've got 3 minutes. Good luck.
Hello, everyone. My name is Natalia Ciosek, and I'm a co-founder of Ultron AR. Ultron AR is simply a platform based on machine learning and artificial intelligence for creating different types of AR mobile games on mobile devices. So we have seen that many companies are struggling with building relationships with their customers. Whenever they try to make any project which is connected with AR, they find it time-consuming, really tiring, and extremely expensive. That's why we have come up with a platform, which is a platform for creation of AR games. It means that you are able to create your own Pokemon Go within less than 30 minutes and just with a couple of steps. So our customers, business customers, get access to the customer panel in which they can easily manage all the tasks for their users. So, for example, they are able to ask their users to recognize text, recognize the video, recognize any kind of object, or, for example, make interaction with an AR creature or AR posture. So the user can see what actually you can see right now on the screen. There is an AR character, and there is this gamification in that. So it means that users of the game are completing tasks. At the same time, they are also collecting points for answering the questions. And finally, if that's what the creator of the game wants, they also win prizes. So our competition are all games, AR games, which already have got active users. However, Ultron AR is a tool for creation of very personalized and easily designed games, AR games, without any special IT knowledge. The mobile AR game market is just huge right now. It's worth over $150 billion, and the trend is rising. And there's a huge proliferation for all AR apps, and it's been seen right now. So we sell our application, our panel, in a business model for business customers. You can either choose your private game, which is free, or you can get to the global ranking, get your users to the global ranking, or choose a business package in which you see the real world map, which means that you see exactly what your users can see on their mobile phones. We have gone through many accelerators. Last year, we went to Expo 2020 to Dubai. We were one of the partners in the Polish pavilion. Also, we took part in Nova Accelerator. It was Check-in Accelerator in Portugal, where we are doing right now 3 pilots with 3 Portuguese companies. And also, for example, we went to Taiwan in 2019 for FinTech Taipei. In 2019, we also received a grant from National Center of Research and Development in Poland. The grant was worth 7.5 million Polish zlotys, and we are planning to finish 2022 with revenue of over 5 million Polish zlotys. This is our team. It's quite huge right now. However, there are only some of the representatives here. Right now, there are more than 40 people on board, and we have got people with different experience from different branches. And for example, data science specialists or cybersecurity specialists, but also me and Greg, who are the co-founders of the company, are running our own businesses for nearly 18 years right now. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'm awaiting the questions.
Thank you, Natalia. Round of applause for you from Wrocław, and let's see if we have any questions. We've got 3 minutes. Are there any questions?
Hi, Natalia, it's Angelo here.
Hi, Angelo. Sorry for my voice. Thank you.
No worries. I wanted to understand what is your plan to make the whole business like 100% scalable. If you can guide us through the strategic move that you plan to do in order to have a scalable business.
It will be perfect if we achieve and gain as many users as possible. And for that, we are trying to make this project 100 just simply free for public institutions. So if you are, for example, a mayor of a city and you would like to make a tour for your for the tourists coming to your town, you are able to do it for free. Also, we are trying to just allocate as many users from this private little games, because when you choose your private game, the users which are inside, they also see the every game that is available on the platform.
Okay, thank you.
We've got 2 minutes left. Any other questions? Okay.
Okay, I have one sort of technical question. Does your application help to like deploy the game on the App Store and Google Play Store, or how does it work? Like if I'm
when you finish
the new game.
When you finish the process of designing your game, you simply make a click and you get the application ready for both, and you can make it available both in App Store and Google Play.
Okay, thank you. But still, there is my liability to check if it's okay to do all the tests and so on before deploying it on the App Store, or do you help with it?
This one is only in the business package where you can create and make use of your own data, for example. But when you make use of our data, which are inside of the engine, it's on our site to make it 100% fast and running just after you simply finish the game.
Thank you very much.
And could you tell us about your marketing strategy?
So right now we are trying to get to the as many fairs, like the fairs for the gamers, as possible. We are also trying to find the company which is helping platforms as ours to get abroad, because this is actually our main goal right now. And I think the marketing is the thing that we will right now have to raise money, because the project is finishing by the end of 2022, and now it's on our side to get it to get the whole promotion done.
All right, we ran out of time just now, so thanks a lot, Natalia. And that was it. That was the final 13. So thank you all for joining us on Hopin and here in person. And now I would like to invite our jury to the private deliberation room so that we have a chance to choose the winning startup. And later we will announce the awards. So once again, big thanks to Piotr Filipiak, Angelo Burgarello, and Luisa Nowacka. Thank you so much for being in the jury. And now I believe there will be a panel discussion. See you soon.